are back for another episode of The Drive here at oddschecker.com. I am Geoff Fienberg. With me is Andy Lack. Andy, we circled the wagon quite a bit on the Players Championship. You know, some close horses. Bryson, Victor.
PGA, you mean? It felt like a play. Yeah, a little bit easier than a Players Championship this week.
Geez. I guess I had players on my mind because I was going to say I was on this show.
Certainly didn't feel like a major golf course to me.
Yeah. Listen, certainly. And I had Xander at the Players. I stuck with them at the Masters. And while I didn't have him at Wells Fargo, I don't know, just coming out of that. And then with the prices next week. But hey, congrats to anyone who either stuck with it. Seems like most of my friends who got there with Xander were people who were holding the line as opposed to like first time or like, you know what? I'm feeling Xander. I never bet Xander. Didn't feel as much of those as friends of ours who are just proud to hold the line and happy they got there. Listen, I held the line on DJ forever. So finally, Blind Squirrel found his nut at Oakmont. You know, but hey, Xander, major winner under 20 to 1, Andy. There aren't many of those. And those guys sort of are the I don't want to say destined, but all of them always felt like a matter of time. Bryson, Dustin, Jason Day. It's a very short list of, since we've sort of been doing this podcasting thing, that guys have won their major championships. Their first major championships under 20 to 1. That comes with a lot of expectation. Xander spent a lot of majors under 20 to 1. I don't know. I'll let you do anything you want with this next little bit. Then we'll move on to Charles Schwab. You can talk about the PGA in any way you want.
Yeah, I like you experienced the Xander heartbreak at the Players and have experienced the Xander heartbreak many times in the past. It was a great week. I think both of us had about as good bets as you could have made without the winner. There were many opportunities throughout that final round where I kept staring at like Xander plus 140. There were times when Hovland was the live favorite, and I made out great. I mean, I when it became a 3-horse race between Bryson and Xander and Victor, and I had Bryson and Victor, it's about all you can ask for as a golf bettor, particularly when you're holding a 35 to 1 on Bryson and a 50 to 1 on a quote unquote broken Hovland. I mean, we're talking hit pieces on the freaking guy's form 3 days before the tournament, which, you know, whole other podcast on this, Geoff, but our boy is back. As it pertains to Xander, it's a win for data. Okay. It's a win for data. It's a win for people who like to bet losers. And I'm glad this narrative's over. Okay. Because as much as, you know, I will be the first to discredit the golf course. If you are discrediting Xander's win, okay, they all played the same place. You're a loser. There's just no way to discredit it. He played the course in front of him. He played the team in front of him. He beat everybody around him. And all data points pointed to the fact that this was going to happen very, very soon. I have done entire podcasts on the point that Xander is not as bad of a contention player as your eyes may tell you. The data on this guy in final rounds is actually really strong, and it's a matter of if, not when. I, like you and many others, experienced Xander fatigue to the point where, hey, this just wasn't the week for me. But in terms of the list of guys that I wasn't betting, that I would have been happy to see win, Xander was pretty high up because I didn't think a lot of the narratives surrounding him were fair. And when you dive into the data with this guy, like over the last 5 years, the guy's been a top 5 player in the world. He just has, by any metric that you want to look at. And so I know the caddy a little bit. I've always been rooting for the guy. Our friend Nagels, like, he deserves this one. I become pretty close with Xander Tracker, who's like a nice, you know, before you come out these freaking tracker accounts, like, those guys are in fucking middle school. Like this,
I don't know. Yeah, I saw Xander Tracker.
they're
His
it's
life has changed. I don't know. That was
good for
interesting.
them.
Whatever. Good. Yeah, sure. You're a
Kids. So
fan.
I'm happy. I'm happy for Xander.
Mhm.
And I joked on Twitter, Jeffrey, you guys better think twice before you chirp us with with our Fleetwood bets at Pinehurst. You better think twice before you chirp us with our Fleetwood bets at Troon, because
Yes.
the point being is like,
Fleetwood
if a
doesn't
guy's
want a
good
PGA
enough,
event, but I love Fleetwood. Yeah, guy's
what
good
I
enough.
mean. The point is, it was a win for, if you consistently put yourself in position, the ball's finally going to go through the hoop. And a lot of people said it was never going to happen with Xander. I have the receipts. A lot of people said no chance, he can't do it. But if you put
Oh,
yourself
that's
in
so
position
stupid.
enough
Yeah.
times,
I don't know. Okay.
the ball will go through the hoop.
Good for Xander. He got it. He got it at 14-1. Good for him.
Did you walk out of the week up money
No.
with
I
a
had shit.
three-horse
I don't
race? You
care
didn't
about
hedge it.
that.
You didn't hedge it
No,
all.
that's not how I go. I don't
Okay.
care. No.
Okay. More ballsy man than I.
Maybe if
took
it
a
should have
little
made
piece
me
of-
no. Didn't even like cross
Who did it feel like to you was going to win on the back nine?
both of
Because
them at different times. Felt
well, maybe
off, but
that's
I
to
don't know.
me,
I don't. Yeah, no, they both had their chance. Yeah, both of them at times, but Xander's just got that great ability to bounce back, and I don't know. I don't want to litigate the course, but it didn't present any trouble. There's never no scary moments. There's never a scary shot, and I would say I don't have the same complaints that you do, but easy and boring and ugly is a horrible combo, because it was easy and it was boring, and there was no like feature or hole that like distinctly sticks out in my mind. Like at least
the
at Torrey
man-made
Pines,
limestone waterfalls didn't do it for you.
no, I'm a La Jolla, you know me, La Jolla's in my heart. Both up. So I'll defend Torrey Pines, but at least what it has, when you pan away, it's not ugly. You know, at
Torrey
least
runs
shots.
circles around this.
Like, but I just mean like it's not ugly. Like at least this, I don't know. Okay, let's so many people did it. It's beaten through the ground. We got another tournament this week. Colonial Andy, quickly, full-on redesign. I've had a lot of luck here. Was part of the Grillo magic last summer, so that was a fun highlight for me, as well as some other ones here, but I'm not really familiar with what exactly they did here on this redesign, despite already having made some bets. So why don't you just talk us through that for a moment here and tell us what you know?
Sure. Well, we haven't seen it yet, but I mean, listen, I'm very familiar with Gil Hanse. I think he is the best one doing it right now. This is the same guy that restored Southern Hills, Winged Foot, the Country Club, LACC, Sleepy Hollow, Fisher's Island, Yale. I mean, these are, original designs of a hoopy, LAC South. I mean, this is one of the best living modern architects in the game right now. Stream Sung Black. And his goal, I don't think, Jeffrey, is to get into quickly about how it should affect our betting strategy this week. He's the master of subtlety. His goal is not to make the golf course different. His goal is to restore it to the architect's original intent. So what that's going to look like is, the greens are probably going to feature a lot more slope and undulation. He's going to probably do a lot of recontouring to Perry Maxwell's original design. Probably open up the trees a little bit more. He took down some trees, open up the driving corridors. I don't think it's going to dramatically affect scoring in any reasonable way.
What about player profile then? Like what player profile?
I think the safest bet this week is I would give even more of a bump to approach play, and specifically recent approach play, because I think
I know where Andy's going here. Then you're circling around it, and let's just jump right into it then. How do you put this? Scheffler's playing. When I woke up this morning, I still thought he could withdraw. We're not even at Tuesday yet, Andy. So I still think maybe.
I don't think so.
So he just
I don't think so.
He goes home for a couple days and then he just
he sleeps in his own bed. Yeah, he sleeps in his own bed.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Down the road.
Okay, and I don't know if people want to wait for the without Scheffler markets, because I almost joked that I want the books. They ask you to like confirm your bet responsibly. I want to double confirm. Just remind me Scheffler's playing, and are you sure you really want to do this? But But yeah, we don't need to talk about Scheffler if you think he's going to win. Like, whatever. We're here to have fun. We're here to do it responsibly. We're going to make some bets with him not winning this tournament. You are all arrows, skipping everybody, flying right into that 30-1 range, Andy. Tony Finau, who a week ago, if we were talking, I really felt like some others. Like, this guy just doesn't take professional golf seriously anymore. What's going on? You know, he's got a big family. He's got a lot of responsibilities. There's a big mortgage he needs to pay. Maybe finishing 30th was just becoming his vibe. Then the approach monster came back, and just like that, well, I scoffed at the 100-1s that were showing up a week ago. Sign me up. Sign me up. Let's do it. We had some success together last week, so let's be partners again here, Andy. But you make the more sophisticated sell on Big Tone.
I haven't made the bet yet, but I'm circling around it like a shark in the water. I smell the blood. Can he make enough putts to win a golf tournament? I just watched the putter. He started out putting so well at the PGA, and I just watched the putter go south. And as you and I know, as seasoned Tony Finau backers, I feel like the majority of the time that I have my most success on Finau is when he's either like 14-1 and nobody wants to bet him at a birdie fest weak field, or he's 100-1 and everyone thinks he stinks. I don't know how I feel about like this actually makes sense Finau. When it's this actually makes sense Finau, kind of like Hideki, like there's kind of the Hideki corollary when it comes to Finau. It's like you kind of want Finau and Hideki when they don't make sense. And the guy led the field in approach play at the PGA Championship, as you mentioned. So he's my favorite. I have certainly room to do it. But I haven't made the move yet. Can I just ask you quickly? You could super rapid fire this, but like of the Morikawa, Spieth, Homa group, who's your favorite of those three?
Okay, I said this earlier. If in a world where Scotty Scheffler, I'm not interested in any of them, any of the three. But if there's a world where you told me right now Scotty Scheffler withdrew and I can get in on any of them at their current price before it got slashed, I would just take Homa.
Yeah,
he's the biggest guy. Like,
fair
it's
enough.
just the biggest price. He's of the three, he's the one that I feel like I actually trust to win a golf tournament these days. People go listen to Andy's podcast. I'm sure he will do a long form debrief on what the hell happened to Colin Morikawa on Sunday. Beside the yips, it was one of the most horrific putting performances I've ever seen. I'm sure Andy will give you his more in-depth preview on it. But yeah, asking question, it would be Max. It'd be Max. Just I'll take the most points. I don't want.
Okay.
I don't want. I wouldn't take Jordan. I know that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm if I make a move at the top, it's Finau at 30. The guy I have bet where I've started my card and I've locked this guy in. This is my official pick to win. It's Brian Harman at 45-1. He's down to 40 now.
Right.
It's a perfect golf course for Brian Harman. And speaking of a player that hit his irons well, Harman gained him a 6 strokes on approach last week at the PGA. I like him on short courses with small greens. He raises his approach baseline significantly on those golf courses. He led the field in approach at TPC Sawgrass. I don't think that's a coincidence. And, you know, just firm and fast golf courses with some wind. Guy won an Open Championship by 5. I know that's in a different continent, but I mean, the type of golf that you need to play, like if you remember Colonial the past couple of years, like it's really tiny, firm greens with wind. And like Colonial the last 2 years, 8 under, 9 under, Geoff. So I'm psyched for this week. I think it's going to be a far more serious golf course than what we saw last week. And I think Brian Harman's going to rise to the occasion on it.
Okay. I got to own this, Andy. This is why you do the show with me. Because if I just did it, I'd say what I said and there'd be no follow-up or intro to you saying what you said. I'm stubborn. I am stubborn and I've got too much pride. If there's a player on tour who I would be happy to never see win again, it is Brian Harman. Who did I wake up and want to bet?
What's your beef with
he just annoys me. He just when Brian Harman wins a tournament, Andy, every single player on tour should get confidence. Like Zach Blair should be like, I can win. I can win. Okay. Everyone who golfs, the next time they pick up a club should just get confidence if that guy can do it. And that's a credit to him. But I wanted to bet him, but I'm just too stubborn. And that's like we're the fan of sports, like a fan of a team. A guy doesn't like a team, like I just don't bet that team. I am not betting Brian Harman, but I agree with everything you said. My stubbornness will probably good chance have me hating myself as this 40-45 to 1 is in contention. I do agree with a lot of what you said, and I pivoted off Brian Harman and was able to get a very nice Harris English number this morning. So Harris English,
he's down to like 30, which I thought's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, I was able to pull the 50, which I thought was fair. This 30 is like insane. I'd rather bet a bunch of these other guys. My partner in crime, Pat Mayo, has been talking about Tom Hoagie winning this event for like a month. I don't so I've had to just blindly tail as a friend on that, Andy. And Xander Schauffele won. So I bet Thomas Detry. If Xander Schauffele can win a major, Thomas Detry, you made your Fleetwood joke, but Thomas Detry can get over the line for me. 70-1 is a guy I am certainly circling around this week, but there's a lot of, I think, interesting options here. Sepp Straka, 50-1, I think is a fair potential play. Austin Eckroat, Sung Jae Im at 45-1. So there's a lot of places I feel like I can go. I don't think I'm going to have any bombs, but like the 40-80-1 range, Andy, even getting as high as Mark Hubbard at 90, there's just a lot of, I feel, options. I've seen Daniel Berger at 75. Like, I don't know. There's an adventure to go on, even though Scotty's going to blow us out, and I'm going to go on it. I've mentioned the few guys who I like. I've mentioned who I'm swimming around. So you take it away from here. You fill out your sort of like 50-100 range for me.
Yeah. I bet Bezadenhout at 50.
Because he can make how's Scotty gonna lose? How's Scotty gonna lose? Well, someone's gonna catch an eclipse. Well, how's someone gonna catch an eclipse? They're gonna make every putt. Who can make every putt? Christian Bezadenhout. I like how I backtracked this morning discussing him. And yeah, I mean, how's Scotty gonna lose? He's gonna have to, someone's gonna go putter blackout. And I guess that's who it would be. He'd be on the short list. So not a bad call.
Yeah. So I bet Bezadenhout 50, as you mentioned. He's one of the best bat putters in this field. He's also been hitting his irons unbelievably well, and he plays really well on these golf courses with smaller greens. He's one of the best wedge players in the field. The other bet I made was Aaron Rai, 65-1. It seems like that number's gotten even a little bigger. You can get 70-1s on Rai. Of course, I endorse that. But accuracy off the tee, short to middle iron play. I actually played him at the PGA Championship in the finishing position markets, and he had like a sneaky good PGA, made the cut for us in daily fantasy. I love the way he's hitting his irons right now. He's one of those accurate drivers on the PGA Tour. Finished 12th at Colonial last year, gaining over 7 strokes on approach. But those are my three, Geoff. Harman 45, Bez 50, and Aaron Rai 65. So I've got some room and some decisions to make if you want to try and sell me on any long shots.
I think, who'd have thought Mark Hubbard would he be anywhere near last week's leaderboard?
Yeah, I'm circling him too.
I think at 90-1 on a course that I think suits him much better. His confidence has to be sky high. That would be a guy that, as I mentioned, I'm circling around. Keegan, that doesn't seem like it could be a bad Keegan course. The way Eckroat's been hitting those irons, I don't mind. So those would be the names, but now I'm just like listing more names. For me, the bets that I have made, I did bet on that Tony Finau 33-1. I have bet Harris English at 50. I've bet Detry at 70. And I'm tailing my boy Pat Mayo with a Hoagie selection at 50. So that's 4 picks for me. I'd like to add at least another one in that 50 to 100 range. And I mentioned a lot of guys who I am swimming around. For Andy, he's bet on Bez. He's bet on, I'm already drawing a blank. He's
Rai,
bet
Bez,
Harman.
and Harman. Yep, that's it so far.
Okay, and go check out his podcast, as he will give a very in-depth recap as to what went on.
Some would say too in-depth. Yeah.
Some might say too in-depth, but that's your bag. That's the
brand. Yeah,
that's the brand.
People
that's
like
the brand. If that's what you need, that's go to get that at ADP Lock Sports. I'm Geoff Fienberg. Hopefully we smash a winner here at the Colonial. We'll smash a winner. Please smash that like button. For Andy, I am Geoff. We'll be back next week as the tour returns to Canada.